Hi, welcome to Detours, Understanding Acquired Brain Injury. My name is Mark. Welcome to my Survivor series. Today I want to talk more about hope and the existential search for meaning. Kind of slightly heady stuff, but maybe not too much. I'm in a different office today. I'm at another location, but I'm kind of just relaxing before Memorial Day. There's not much going on. So what I'm going to deal with is the fact that I just was thinking a lot of survivors tend to be very kind people, very good, and while we certainly have our days where we can kind of snap, at people and be aggressive and that kind of stuff. At heart, many good and kind people that I've had the pleasure of encountering, very sweet, very, the kind of folks you want as friends and family. And if you're lucky enough to know one, many of them will do almost anything for you as far as like willingness. Many of us have trouble with our boundaries, I will admit, but it's something that that I've discovered, and it just made me think about what it is that. And so after thinking about it for a little bit, it's like it occurred to me, well, there's those of you who are fans of the Greek myths know the story of Pandora. It's a sexist one, no surprise. It comes from the Athenians. But when Pandora finally gave in to her curiosity, a rather malign gift given to her by the gods, she gave in. She opened that box, which was another unfortunate gift given to her by Zeus. All the evils of the world flew out, and she managed to shut the lid just as the last whatever was in there, and it turned out to be hope. Hope can be seen in one of two ways, depending on which interpretation you're applying to it. It's a good thing in that there's always that possibility that things may get better. Or things may improve, or that things may actually turn out the way you'd like them to. But of course, that's also the thing that encourages you to keep trying, even in the face of futility. The thing is, you don't know what the outcome will be, and so it's always worth giving it a shot. I kind of tend to believe the more positive spin on that there's still a chance, and you keep fighting for as long as you can, because, it's like you'll never know if you don't at least try. And so I have a more optimistic view, when it comes to hope. All right. So what is it? What are those kind of things that, well, hope is definitely one of those things for a lot of survivors. Because it's, in most cases, not all, but in most cases, it was blind chance that led us to end up with a brain injury. Accidents and cardiac arrest, whatever, and so chance plays a big role. Sure, there are those of us who received our brain injury through malevolent intent, whether it's abuse, whether it was crime, and those are both crime. I want to make clear that I understand that, but whether it's however it happens. But in most cases, a majority of them, vast majority of them, is due to just something that goes wrong. So hope is part of it, and hope that there'll be an answer, recovery, things will go better, that kind of thing. Hope is part of it, but so is something else. In the life of an average person without brain injury, twice we do existential work, trying to figure out who we are, where we fit in the world, what our roles are going to be. And it happens once when we're in our mid-late teens. What am I going to do? What's my job going to be? Am I going to go to university? Am I going to go to trade school? Am I going to go, work the farm? Whatever it may be. I mean, we all ask the questions in different ways. But, do I want to be a parent? Those kind of things. And we ask those questions right before major transitional life events. The second time we typically ask that question is after, as we get ready to retire. Now, more people are staying in their jobs, but they're still in that transitional phase. As you get older, your body's not performing, you can't do the job you used to do, and you have to consider something else. And these kind of big questions again, it's like, am I going to retire if I can? And if I do, what am I going to do with myself? Do I retire to Florida? Do I get an RV? Whatever. Am I going to be on the move? And so, you ask that question a second time. With us, many of us have to ask that question a third time, or even fourth, fifth, or sixth, or however many other times we have to ask that. Because if you suffer a moderate or severe brain injury, even a mild, an MTBI, mild, I don't like that way of describing it because it isn't. Anytime a brain injury permanently disrupts your life, it is, in my opinion, a severe brain injury. But that's neither here nor there right now. So we have to do the existential work. We have to ask ourselves, who am I now? I'm a different person. And so you have to do the kind of work you do as a team. Who am I? What am I? What is important to me? Which is the key question. Am I going to chase the dollar bills again? Am I going to try to do the job I did before? Can I say goodbye to who I was? I talked about that in an earlier video. And honestly, in many of our cases, we can't do what we did before. We have to shift gears. And that means things are more difficult. So for us, many of us don't have the skills or the processing speed that we used to have. Can I stay with my partner? Do they want to stay with me? Can I continue to be a parent? This is a sad question, but often gets imposed upon us by other people. If we don't have the memory or the thinking skills, many times we'll lose custody of our kids, which is such a heartbreaking thing to see. But I know of cases of this where this happens. It's more frequent than we'd like to admit. And so once we're done asking these questions, we have to build ourselves a new life, and maybe one that is continuously dynamic. Lots of changes apply because our situation will change frequently and rapidly. And so that requires us to decide that maybe more than things, the people in our lives are more valuable. The people that we build, the family that we create. I know that's true for me. The family that I create is just as important as my own, biologically, because they understand. And so to me, part of why I found such a strong family of survivors is because many of them have also had to ask the same questions I have, and have had to do the existential work of asking, who am I now? Where do I fit in this world? Why did this happen? And maybe they can't answer all of these questions. Maybe there are no answers. But it is important when you suffer brain injury, rather than just becoming angry or bitter about it, to at least try to answer the questions, to have hope that there is an answer to these kind of things, even if it's not the one you want, that at least when you have hold of an answer in time, that you can become comfortable and okay with it, and find that it leads to a functional recovery. Remember the video I had on functional recovery? And if you find functional recovery, you can again find that joy, that peace, and find yourself again in a good position in life. Even if it's not what you had initially planned, even if your first existential work did not end up the way you thought it would, to find those connections and find that joy again. Those are just some of my thoughts. So thank you for joining us, and hope you have a good day. Bye.